It seems like people don't really care about Mega Skarmory. With so many new Mega Evolutions to choose from, the ones that are more flashy and more obviously powerful are the ones that are getting most of the attention. Skarmory, by contrast, isn't really getting any attention because it just doesn't seem that exciting. But I think that Skarmory is better than a lot of people are giving it credit for. There's a couple reasons for this. First, it's typing. Steel and Flying is exceptional typing. We've seen a Pokemon with this typing do well before, and that's Corviknight, who has had a lot of success over the years. And Mega Skarmory is kind of like a more offensive and faster Corviknight. Another perk to this typing is that Steel typing is kind of hard to get right now. Your options are kind of like Kingambit or Aegislash or Archaludon. But the thing is that two of those Pokemon don't resist Fairy moves, and Fairy is pretty good right now. Light of Ruin. I almost called it Light that burns my eyes, but nope, that's Light of Ruin is a very powerful attack. Having a Steel type that actually resists Fairy is obviously nice, but it's also nice that Skarmory is a physical attacker, a physical attacking Steel type, while both Mega Fluette and Mega Gardevoir, and they're both very specially bulky, less so on the physical side. Oh yeah, speaking of good typings to have, Flying typing is also always nice to have. It's pretty difficult to get a reliable physical Flying type Pokemon, but Mega Skarmory actually is one. That's really strong right now because not only is Flying a good offensive type generally, but it's also very good into Sneasler. Sneasler's pretty bulky on the special side, but not so much on the physical side, so Skarmory can KO Sneasler in a single Brave Bird, which is pretty nice because Sneasler's a Pokemon you want to get rid of as fast as possible. The other good thing about Skarmory is its ability. It's Stalwart, which was previously exclusive to the Duraludon and Archaludon line. It lets you ignore moves like Follow Me and Rage Powder. Basically, whoever you actually try to target, you will successfully target regardless of what trickery your opponent goes for. This is a good ability. It's not so good right now because there aren't that many redirectors, but with both Maushold and Sinistcha seeing some play, and Scovillain actually being a new kind of addition to the metagame, this is not an ability you're ever upset to have, and it can have huge upside if it ever comes up. Okay, so I've made Mega Skarmory sound pretty good. So why is nobody using it? The clearest answer is because it's not that strong naturally, and as a physical attacker, it can have its attack cut more by Intimidate. Intimidate is very popular, to say the least, and after an Intimidate, Mega Skarmory doesn't really do much damage, which is why the team that I'm building today is based around Swords Dance Mega Skarmory. After a Swords Dance, Skarmory's attack will go up by 2 stages, so even if it's intimidated, it'll still be higher than it started. I'm also going to be doing something a little unusual and not training Skarmory at all in its attack stat, instead focusing entirely on its speed and HP. This seems strange, but my basic theory is that after a Swords Dance, Skarmory will hit really hard, so I'd rather focus on surviving. The first thing I want for my Skarmory is healing, so I'm going to add Sinistcha. Sinistcha's ability Hospitality will heal its partner by 25% whenever Sinistcha switches in. Sinistcha can further support Skarmory by using Rage Powder to redirect attacks, something that Skarmory can ignore, but most Pokemon in the game cannot. Sinistcha can also use the move Life Dew, which heals both itself and its partner by 1/4 of their maximum HP every time it's used, meaning that I don't have to switch Sinistcha in and out to get healing. Skarmory is very physically bulky naturally and has a really good typing against many of the top threats in the format, such as Garchomp. And so Sinistcha's healing will actually add up because a lot of people will try to kind of wear Skarmory down over time, and this will prevent that. Skarmory is pretty fast, but there are many Pokemon faster than it, so I need a Pokemon that is even faster than those Pokemon. In order to outspeed Pokemon like Choice Scarf Basculesian and Mega Gengar, I'm going to need to use my own Choice Scarf. The Pokemon I'm selecting for this role is Rotom Wash. Rotom Wash can slow my foes down with Electro Web, meaning against like a Mega Aerodactyl, I can go for Electro Web, slow it down immediately, and then hit it with Iron Head, which can be really good. It can also disrupt opponents with Trick and launch the powerful move Hydro Pump into Pokemon that are weak to it. But the main reason I wanted to use Rotom is because of its last move, Volt Switch. See, Mega Skarmory is actually pretty weak against both Sun and Rain. With Sun teams, the Fire type damage can be really overwhelming, and with Rain teams, the Water type damage can be really overwhelming. Well, Volt Switch not only does damage, but also allows Rotom to switch after you use it. Against a Mega Charizard Y, for example, you can use Volt Switch, hit Charizard for like half of its health, and then bring in another Pokemon in the middle of the turn, and if that Pokemon has an ability that overwrites the weather, you can shut down the Sun. On this team, because I'm weak to both Sun and Rain, I'm going to add Tyranitar. Tyranitar is extremely good against Sun teams due to its rock typing being very threatening for Charizard. And it also has good synergy with Skarmory because many of the Pokemon that Tyranitar doesn't like Garchomp and Sneasler, Skarmory is actually really good against. Skarmory has trouble with Steel-type Pokemon, and Tyranitar can learn the powerful move Superpower, so that also is some good synergy as well. And I don't have to worry too much with the defense because I can use Focus Sash Tyranitar to help keep it alive. This also makes it stronger against Rain teams because Tyranitar, while it is good at switching into Fire moves because it resists Fire moves, not so good at switching into Water moves, so this gives me a little bit of extra insurance. Okay, 2 Pokemon left. The first Pokemon I'm adding is Sneasler. I don't really like Sneasler naturally, but I will say that I'm growing more fond of it over the last couple of weeks of Pokemon Champions being out. The thing is that like Kingambit is just a really strong Pokemon right now, and it's really hard to beat Kingambit, and other Steel types as well, like Archaludon, also give my team some trouble. And I really appreciate that Sneasler is just like a good Pokemon you can add to threaten these threatening Pokemon. Sneasler also adds Fake Out to the team, and Fake Out plus Swords Dance is in theory pretty strong, and also in practice pretty strong, so it has good synergy with Skarmory as well. With one Pokemon on the team, we need a support Pokemon to help Skarmory get up Swords Dances, and the Pokemon that we're going to use is Incineroar. Fake Out and Intimidate are great here. We like the Dark typing a lot because some of the Ghost type Pokemon threaten us, like Mega Gengar and Basculegion. The Fire typing is another way we can deal with Kingambit, and also gives us a resistance against fire, which against Sun teams could be pretty big. If you enjoyed the battles with this team, there will be 3 additional battles up on the Patreon. They are pretty silly, so if you like watching this team, there's more there. There's also more battles with all of my teams this month of champions, so you can check out like literally hours and hours and hours of content for just $5 a month. Normally the Patreon is where I put a lot of my content focused on developing specific skills to help you get better at competitive Pokemon, but I also do a lot of fun challenges there as well and post extra gameplay too. Anyway, with the team out of the way, let's jump into the battles and see how Mega Skarmory actually does in practice. Also, its feet are so big. Have we talked about this? Big feet guy. Okay, hello everybody. This is the Mega Skarmory team that I'm going to be using today. I think it's quite interesting. I think Mega Skarmory is in a really interesting place right now because there are so many physical Pokemon. I spent most of my morning, most of the last 3 hours building and iterating on this team. I tried a lot of different Pokemon. I tried Hydreigon, I tried Pelipper, I tried Politoed. And this is the best that I've been able to make it feel. I think that probably there are elements to this team which are quite strong. I think the Skarmory, Incineroar, Sinistcha, and Sneasler core is pretty good. I'm not so sure about Rotom and Tyranitar, but I think they are good for what I need them to do on this team. I'm really curious to see how this feels pretty much at the very top of the ladder. I think my opponents are going to be very, very good, so I don't know how easy it'll be to get wins with Mega Skarmory. As you can see, I'm 31st overall, which is quite good in my opinion. But we'll just do our best. We'll see how Skarmory feels. We'll get a feel for it and go from there. So yeah, with that being said, I've got the team. All the items look correct. I have the right Mega Stone. Yeah, let's jump into the battles. Okay, who are we up against here? It is a Mega Fluette well, I should say a Fluette plus Charizard team. So this is a little bit spooky. Charizard obviously is a very strong matchup into Skarmory. I think these 3 are more or less a given. Yeah, I think this should be a matchup where I bring both Tyranitar and Rotom here. I'm gonna bring Sinistcha, I think, because I think that the most important, that was probably not the right, I was gonna say the most important thing is the Kingambit, but if the most important thing is Kingambit, then I should have brought Sneasler instead. So I think I'm kind of asking for trouble with what I've brought here. One of the things about Skarmory is that its stats change pretty dramatically from its Mega form to its non-Mega form. It actually loses 30 points of defense. Anyway, I can explain this later. Fluette plus Garchomp. Overall, I would say that this is probably a pretty favorable lead for me. I have Rotom plus Skarmory here, so I'm able to go for a potential Volt Switch into this Fluette, Mega Evolve, and I think this is a turn to Swords Dance for sure. I actually have seen a variant of this team that runs Choice Scarf Fluette instead of Mega to try and get Sneasler. It one-shot my Sneasler with Psychic, so I do need to watch out for that as it's totally feasible here. Let's see if the Fluette, ideal situation is they protect both here, because if I get a double like a Swords Dance off without losing anything, that's great. We need to scout for the Choice Scarf as either of these Pokemon can have it, but yeah, having 2, okay, it's not Choice Scarf. Mega Fluette's online. We'd like to see Protect here from Fluette. That's the ideal situation. And if they go for not Protect, I think we have to bring in Sinistcha here. Let's see. We also need to see what Garchomp does here. It could be Scarf Rock Slide, which is threatening. In theory, they should be going for Protect, I think. I think they want to Protect here because they certainly shouldn't want to take an Iron Head. Oh, okay, that can't be good. I'm gonna do some damage here. I actually could have cleared the Fluette if I wanted to, but I did not. So I'm gonna go into Sinistcha here. I think it's my kind of only option. I think I need Tyranitar for Charizard. So, oh wait, they don't have Charizard though. But yeah, even still, I think it's better to go Sinistcha here, even though Hospitality is wasted. Okay, my Skarmory moves next. That's guaranteed because my Rotom moved first, unless they were really slow Scarf Garchomp. As they go for Moonblast into Sinistcha, that can't be good. That cannot be good. Hello. I am really specially bulky, which is good. I lose special attack, which is bad. Let's see what Garchomp goes for here. Need to be careful. They just Dragon Claw me. Okay. 108 down to 39. I'm gonna go Machigacha. I wish I hadn't taken so much damage in Iron Head. Okay, I get the Fluette, so I get their Mega, well, they're gonna get my Sinistcha, which is, it seems like a favorable trade, but I'm actually not so sure that it is. The nice thing is I am +2. I'm losing Fluette here for sure. They go for Rock Slide. I could live this. It's not out of the question. Okay, if I get this Machigacha off, it's gonna be really good. Okay, I connect. Okay, this is gonna be good because it should do 40%. Okay, it's very bulky. But the thing is that now my Sinistcha's still alive and I could do the burn. I haven't burned with this move once, I gotta tell you. The important thing here is that my Sinistcha's still alive. Basculegion comes out. So I'm inclined to go for, I'm not in range of anything from this Basculegion, right? So I'm inclined to go for Machigacha plus Brave Bird, I think. If I clear this, my Tyranitar becomes very strong. We need to know if they're Scarf or not. They're not Scarf. Okay, so one of my Pokemon will be dying here. I get the Garchomp. I think it's probably Sash on the Basculegion on this kind of team. I'm going to take a lot of damage here. The Garchomp goes down. That makes my Tyranitar a lot stronger. They go for Agility. Okay. I'm very glad I didn't go for Rage Powder. I have not seen Agility Vasculegion ever. I hit. That's really good. This would be a really nice time to get a burn. It does no damage. This thing is giga tanky. Burn, 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 burn. I haven't burned with this move ever. What is it? Gambit? +2 Vasculegion. There's Kingambit on the field. Oy, good boy. Okay. It's Supreme Overlord. They're just trying to clean up with what they have left, basically. I'm gonna go Rage Powder plus Brave Bird here, I think. Yeah, I think my goal is to get to a position. This could be Sash. I think Protect. Okay, not good. I go for Rage Powder, so I'm losing a Mon here, which is very bad. Yeah, they don't go for Sucker Punch. Like, it was obvious, but I don't know what I was supposed to do here instead. Like, I wasn't sure that they had Protect, although I guess in hindsight it's somewhat obvious. So here's the dilemma, folks. I have 2 Pokemon that I could go into. Here's what I'm worried about. I think I have to go into Rotom because I think that if I go into Tyranitar and I go for like Knockoff, for example, then like I'll trade 1 for 1. Yeah, I think I have to go Rotom here. And I think I have to go for Brave Bird plus 2 stacks of Supreme Overlord. I assume that Voltage will KO here, surely. I'm worried about my Tyranitar not 1v1 in Kingambit here because it might have to take a hit. I go for Sucker. That's the... Oh, I didn't think about that. Oh, I'm so stupid. I'm so stupid. I'm so stupid. I don't think Rotom outspeeds here. Oh, I'm faster. They're slow. Please kill. Okay. I can win this. Okay. +2 Basculegion slower than Scarf Rotom. I made my Rotom really fast, and I guess they were just fast enough. They looked bulky from how little they took from the Matcha Gacha. But I think we're going to be able to just barely win this. Because I have Tyranitar plus Rotom, and I have the Sash Open Hill here. So, okay, one thing that I could do here, which is probably stupid. Okay, I think I have a guaranteed win here. I can go Protect here and Trick to lock them into whatever move they use. And then I can go for Electro Web, because I'm like, what if they have Choppleberry? This is probably unnecessary, but I think it's possible for... Is it possible for my Tyranitar to be slower than their Kingambit? Kingambit. If they're Jolly Nature, yeah, no. Okay, here's Trick anyway. They didn't go for Sucker Punch. This was actually probably stupid. This is probably... Oh, okay, never mind. I was stupid. Okay, what do they have? They have Scarf now, and I get the Chopple. Okay, they were Chopple. And they go... Okay, but now they're locked into Kowtow, so now I win. Also, they're... Yeah, they're locked into Kowtow. So, Trick Rotom wins the game here with Trick, and here's Superpower, and... Because I'm Sash still, and they're locked. I was worried about them getting locked into Iron Head, but I figured, like, if they locked into Iron Head, I thought that, like, Electro Web plus Superpower would win. So here's Volt Switch at 26%. They are fast, so they're going to get my Rotom here. But Tyranitar is going to clean up. So, honestly, Skarmory was good here. Like, I got rid of Fluette, got rid of Garchomp. But I think the real MVP was Rotom. Rotom and Sinister were really good here. But yeah, Skarmory, definitely strong into a lot of these meta picks. And this was definitely a weird version of the team with, like, Supreme Overlord and Agility Basculegion. So, yeah, feel pretty good about winning that one. That was not easy. Cool. Good job, Skarmory. Okay. Okay, this isn't terrible. 2 or 3 potential megas, depending on what the Dragonite is doing. They have Kingambit, who is scary. I do not like facing off against Kingambit, but I have Skarmory, who's quite good into a lot of these Pokemon. I do think that this is probably a matchup where all my Pokemon are good here. Literally all my Pokemon are good. Tyranitar is a big question. Tyranitar is actually pretty decent into a lot of these Pokemon. This is also a team with Weather, though. I think I want to bring Tyranitar here. The question is, do I bring Sinistra, who was so good last game? I think I have to bring Sinistra here because if I'm leading with, I don't think I'm allowed to bring Rotom, Tyranitar, and Sneasler because if I Volt Switch, I don't have anything to go into, right? I need to really be careful of this Froslass. Oh wait, Froslass is faster than my Skarmory, right? That's pretty spooky. Delphox Admirer. Okay, let's see here. Okay, that's not what I expected. Okay. So here's my thought process right now. I'm gonna go for a Swords Dance here. Mega Evolve Swords Dance, and I'm actually gonna go for a sneaky Trick into the Kingambit. This is a little bit spooky, but I think that this makes it easier for me to deal with later. This also makes my Tyranitar scarier early game, or like mid game. Like, I think the Kingambit is like genuinely one of the biggest threats here. And since Fluette isn't inherently that threatening against my Skarmory, yeah, I think doing this kind of play is okay. I do need to be really careful because I think they're gonna lock into Kowtow Cleave, which hits most of my Pokemon. They actually don't Mega Evolve Fluette here. So is this Protect from Fluette, or is it that's that sneaky set that I told you about a second ago? Oh, that's not what I expected. Is it Scarf? It might be Scarf. Hold on a second. It's Scarf Light of Ruin. Okay, that can't be good. Rotom will live, but not by much. Okay, that's not good. They're Timid Scarf. Okay, I went for Trick. So we still don't know where the Mega is, which is pretty bad for me. I think that's pretty bad. I have no speed control. They could miss Light of Ruin. I think I gotta just clear Fluette here and accept that I'm +2 and go from there. I guess we're gonna be trading Rotom for Fluette here, which is like Scarf for Scarf, which isn't the end of the world, but it's not great either. Okay, Rotom down. I think, I can't believe this is a tech now. Scarf Fluette. Scarf Eternal Fluette. Excuse me, I gotta use the government name. So I'm gonna take some damage here. I'll be able to heal a little bit of it off with Sinistcha. I think I'm currently losing, to be honest. Here's Kowtow. Take a hit here. Does a lot of damage. Wait, hang on a second. That did a lot. Do you think that's Black Glasses? Froslass is the switch. Okay, that's not good for me. That cannot be good for me. Because Mega Froslass is faster than me, and actually neither of my Pokemon really especially appreciate. I think I'm losing this for sure. I'm so weak to Blizzard right here. Okay, I think Iron Head into Froslass and Life Dew is acceptable. Not great, of course, but acceptable. Okay, they do Mega Evolve. So in a perfect world, I survived the turn. Let's see what they go for here. I could have played defensive, but I didn't really know if it was gonna work. Okay, Snow is up. Iron Head, they're slow. I'm +2, but the Snow defense. Okay, hang on a second. Their slow Froslass Skarmory actually outspeeds, which is crazy business. What happens next? That's a huge turn. We get Life Dew off their Kingambit is not that fast. I think this is probably my best play here. Get a little more healing. Skarmory goes back up to full. That could matter. We know we are gonna win the Weather War. They Kowtow into Sinistcha. Do I survive this? I have no clue. I did not EV for it. Sinistcha might just be the most goated Pokemon I've ever seen in my entire life. Citrus Berry activates. We need a little chip on this Kingambit so that we can beat it with Superpower Tyranitar. Askew Legion is the last. Okay, we go for Brave Bird into this slot, and we just go for Rage Powder, and we say, God, I hope this works. There's two options here. This is either Scarf or Sash or a secret third option, which is Citrus Berry or something. And Sinistcha surviving there is a huge deal, as I don't think we would have been able to beat Askew Legion without it surviving. They don't protect here, so there's only two reasons for this. Either it's Scarf or it's Sash. Otherwise, you should be going for Protect here, especially because Kingambit isn't threatened. They are not Scarf. So that begs the question, is it Sash? They are not Sash either. Basket Legion goes down and one hit. Skarmory picks up a one-hit KO with Brave Bird, and all of a sudden, Kowtow Cleave takes out Sinistcha, but it's too little too late. Kingambit, who's been on the field from turn 1, taking out all of my Pokemon, threatening so much damage, dealing with the Sinistcha. It's the last Pokemon standing, and this Kingambit is not gaining any strength from the Fallen because the final Pokemon on this team is not Incineroar, who would boost Kingambit up, but instead Tyranitar. Tyranitar overriding the Snow isn't a big deal, but its access to Superpower is, because even if this Kingambit has Triple Berry with the combination damage from Brave Bird, there's simply no way for it to win. Skarmory goes for Brave Bird. This is +2, but it's not gonna do much more than like 30 at most. 44% from Brave Bird. Skarmory doing a huge chunk to Kingambit, ensuring that even if this is Triple Berry Kingambit, which it is not, it is, okay, Tyranitar turns and then sees the berry being eaten, but it doesn't matter. It's done enough damage. Tyranitar knocks out Kingambit. Mega Skarmory wins again. My God, even with all the surprises, I think the big thing here was that the Froslass was not as fast as it could be. I think that definitely helped a lot. But I mean, listen, that's the way the game goes, right? You gotta take advantage of the choices that your opponent makes, and I feel like here we certainly did that. So Mega Skarmory popped off a little bit, took a bunch of KOs. Okay, this is another dual Mega team as potential both Froslass and Charizard. Other than that, it's a bunch of like standard meta Pokemon. So I think we're gonna try our standard mode here. We definitely want Tyranitar. The question is, are we going to bring Sneasler or Incin? I like Sinistcha because it's good into Sneasler and Basket Legion. No, not Basket Legion. Sneasler and Garchomp, and it can protect me from Basket Legion, which is good. That being said, Incin is way better into the Mega Evolutions. Then again, I do feel like the healing is kind of important on Skarmory. Okay, it's not Sneasler here. It's either Sinistcha or Incin, I think. I think I do Sinistcha. Like, because, like, not only is Kingambit immune to it, or, like, gets boosted by it, but Sneasler's White Herb I don't want to activate, because if it's Adamant, then I'll outspeed it with my Skarmory. So I think this is a pretty not great matchup. But I think that, oh wow, this person's really high ranked. Oh wow, they're super high ranked. Okay, Sneasler and Garchomp are the leads. That's probably the best case scenario for me realistically. The thing is, there's not really much for my Rotom to do here. I kind of want to lock into Hydro Pump and just go for damage into this thing. And Brave Bird seems totally fine here, because then I can go for Life Dew next turn. So this is a bit aggressive. Like like the obvious move here is for me to go for Protect on Skarmory. Let's see as well if the Garchomp has Scarf. They fake out into Rotom actually, so that's not what I was expecting. Rotom flinches. Skarmory moves next, so it's not Scarf on the Garchomp. I Brave Bird. I get the KO. Okay, I mean that's good. That's one of the Pokemon that threatens my my Tyranitar, and on top of that, oh, what else? On top of that, there's some other reason why that's good. They declaw Rotom. They just made it hard to read. Okay, that's a lot of damage. That's not good for me. That can't be good. Okay, now what? Now what indeed? Now what indeed, female? God, thank goodness I didn't protect, because if I protected there, I was going to be more dead than anyone's ever been dead before. Who else think it? I also revealed that I am Scarf Rotom, which is something that they are probably paying attention to. Charizard comes out, so I have a choice here. I can go for Volt Switch plus Brave Bird, or I can go for Volt Switch plus Swords Dance. If I go for Volt Switch plus Swords Dance, I'm probably gonna lose the game if I'm wrong. But the Protect is very obvious if they were paying attention, because now they know that I'm doing it. I'm doing it. Show me Protect. Okay, I got the call correct. Now I'm in really good shape. I'm in really, really good shape now because I don't think it's super likely that their Charizard can survive a +2 Brave Bird. In fact, I'd be really surprised if that were the case. So now I have +2 Skarmory. And you might think, oh yeah, Skarmory obviously loses to Charizard, but at +2, it's not so clean cut anymore. Clean, it's not so clear cut. Not so clear cut. Okay, we're going to Sinistcha here now, and I'm really grateful that we have Sinistcha because now I get some healing as well on my Skarmory. So the damage I took from the Brave Bird recoil is mostly healed off. Their switches here are Basculegion or Kingambit. They can't bring in Froslass here. I'm gonna go for Machagacha as a chance to burn is pretty nice. I'm also gonna Brave Bird here. I think that like the important thing in this position is just to keep the pressure on. I don't think that Charizard, even if it's very bulky, will survive Brave Bird, though I didn't actually run the calc for this. So it is possible. We have not seen the Focus Sash yet, and that could really throw a wrench into the plan. Okay, even if they're max HP on the Charizard and let's say give them 10 defense, okay, it's guaranteed until they have 22 defense and 32 HP. So I think this is a guaranteed KO, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna win the game because if they have Kingambit as the last, okay, here we go. No Mega Charizard. There's no way this is Sash, right? Okay, I get Charizard. I guess they didn't want us at the sun up, which is fine. Maybe they were afraid of Incineroar as the last. They go for Rock Slide. Okay, that's fine. I am losing health pretty quickly. I go for Machagacha. If I get the burn here, I'm pretty sure I'll win the game. But it's not guaranteed, of course. I have not burned anything yet. And it is Basculegion. So here's where this is tricky, folks. Let's say I go for Rage Powder. I'm going to do something interesting. I'm going to go for Rage Powder here. Do I think I die to Basculegion? I probably will, right? I think I have to get Garchomp here rather than Basculegion. I know it's weird. We just need to see Garchomp not Protect. Okay, they didn't go for Protect. Let's see if this is Choice Scarf Basculegion or not. I'm going to lose both my Pokemon this turn, almost certainly. They're not Scarf. Okay. We're going to get Garchomp. Here's my thought process. I'm dead. I'm super dead, of course. But I felt like if I went from Brave Bird into Basculegion, they maybe Sash. If I go for Brave Bird into Basculegion, then Sinistcha still goes down, and I KO Basculegion, but then the 1 versus 1 is Tyranitar versus Garchomp, and I lose that. So I'm playing to a Tyranitar versus Basculegion endgame where I think I win unless they're Waterfall and not Liquidate, unless they're Sash Waterfall. I could Protect here, but I'm a little bit worried about some weird tech move. So I think my best play is just to go for Knockoff here. There's no way they can win this unless they're Focus Sash. I think I should just knock off here because if they have Rain Dance, which I don't think they do, but if they were to have Rain Dance, then that's how I could lose. So they go for it. We just want to see not Waterfall. Most of them, if they're okay, it's Liquidation. I should definitely win this then, unless there are some. Oh wow. Okay, their Adaptability, but Focus Sash on Tyranitar activates, coming in clutch here. Tyranitar hangs on. Is this going to be enough? Tyranitar's defense falls. Doesn't really matter at this point. It just comes down to whether or not we can get the KO with Knockoff. There's no Culver Berry. Their Focus Sash, however, Sandstorm activates here. The critical hit does not matter even a little bit. Not at all. And the Sandstorm is actually going to clean this one up. So Skarmory takes out Charizard, takes out Sneasler, takes out Garchomp. Let's Tyranitar 1v1 Basculegion. And with that, we've beaten somebody very high ranked. That person was probably really close to rank 1 if I had to guess. That might have been a top 5 opponent on the ladder. So yeah, that's Mega Skarmory. I'm overall really feel like it went pretty well, all things considered. Yeah, I think Skarmory is an interesting Pokemon. I think it's like a bit difficult to use. I don't think it's a top meta threat right now, even with Mega Fluette being so popular. But I do think that it has some strengths going for it. And I think that I wouldn't be surprised at all to see it do well at some point. But I also would be a little bit surprised right now if it ever became like a main threat, you know, like a main Pokemon to prepare for. So at least in the current metagame, I think it's unfortunately a little bit too awkward into Kingambit in certain Basculegion sets. It does suck that your strongest move has recoil damage, but overall certainly not a bad Mega Pokemon, and certainly one that I didn't feel was like impossible to build around. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and if you haven't already, you can check out the video I did a couple days ago where I got to #1 in the world on the ladder in Pokemon Champions using Mega Scovillain. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye bye.